And therefore, we need those solutions that was presented with the small equipment, with the solar panels, a lot of innovation needed to bring the cell phones to those little villages in Africa, for example. So when we then look at the challenge, what we need to face is that we need to really work on the processes and unify methodologies, unify how we actually analyze different parts of the networks, and how we also manage the service level agreement between ourselves and customer, and also internally. But the typical setup is that we have one location where we remotely look at customer network. It will be connected over the internet, either the dedicated links or IP MPLS connections or some other internal large hub structure. And we need to monitor that as well. We cannot just trust that it's there. We need to have 100% availability figures for our connections between our operation centers and the customer premises. In addition, we need to be clear that we have quite a sizable equipment in our own centralized locations. We need to make sure that all of those platforms are fully operational 24/7 with the high SLA requirements. So we need to be able to monitor all of the boxes. So we use our own infrastructure, the connectivities from our local offices to the central offices, and then we monitor the customer process environment. In addition, when we look at the networks, we go to the IP, IT, and WAS networks. We look at all the service components. In our challenges in NSN, we have a radio network operations, we have a full scope of the network operations, the network management layer. Typically, customers want to retain their responsibility in the service management layer. But somewhere, we have also full-blown service and WAS operations. And again, challenge comes. Again, a lot of third-party in-house platforms that need to be managed in the hardware level, system level, application level. Many layers to be done. And more, when we go from the GSM network to the 3G network, we started to bring a lot of different IP boxes into the networks. Every network, we call it like a release 4 network. Release 99 was traditional circuit switch, and release 4 was really all IP-based network. In that one, that was a long learning curve to really understand that you cannot run IP network and telco network separately. There are so many pressure points which are interconnected. So in principle, if you have like a big IP cloud, you need to know if the cloud is there or not. But then you have a certain points, and if those points like site 5 goes down, it's a major disaster for our operations. And in order to capture this information, typically it goes as follows. We make a network design. It's nice drawings, nice Word documents, everything there. Then we get the people to do the installation. Nice plug in there, put the cables in there, they document everything in Excel. Then they leave. They put it somewhere in the data folders, everything's there. Then things goes wrong. Those documents are, somebody has been changing something already there. So we need to have a full auto-discovery capability. We need to be able to, all the time, even we know that people and processes are always 100% correct, we still need to do manual checks all the time and automate the data collection from the network. And then identify any gaps between. So therefore, one of the reasons when we've been looking at the IP area, we analyzed multiple products in the market. And one of the key things for us was really the flexibility to meet these requirements on this type of environment, bring the needed flexibility, and also enable the auto-discovery of these networks. Because when we take over a customer network, we may have a documentation or we may not have a documentation. So therefore, we need to quickly capture as is what is there in the network, and then do the necessary upper level monitoring and the modeling. And also, even we go for the next generation technologies, we still, even this IP cloud is coming here, more and more dominance, it still is that we have a lot of old technologies behind there. And that's the most likely the biggest challenge, that there are so many different protocols you need to master. There are some boxes that we will never talk to anyone. They're just dummy boxes, there is no communication, no even remote connectivity. So of course those will be replaced all the time, but still we are also looking forward to a platform that we can actually have a flexibility in case we don't have really a nice protocol or interface. We can also, in a flexible manner, we can include it as part of our monitoring concept. And that's where we also have been very happy with this flexibility of the BaseN platform to enable us to model new equipments for our purposes, for those areas where we are not having a need for other tool investment. So we utilize the IP area, OSAS platform monitoring, the connectivity monitoring, and then we expand it to the necessary domains of those other technologies. Operationally, of course, we use our telco management systems from different vendors. We use the Ericsson system, Huawei, Motorola, Alta Revolution. So those provides like a good frame for the radio and core networks. But then everything else we are hooking up to our IP management BaseN platform. Then a couple of things that when people are asking about, so why you actually really have to spend money for this activity, isn't that good enough to have a certain other tools in place and so on? And we have a multiple operations ongoing. We need to clearly also enable the sufficient resources to do the work and also build the right center of excellences to do the work right. These are a couple of examples what has been taking place recently when people have been moving from traditional networks to the more IP-based networks. And the first example, customer in Asia Pacific, after a few upgrades, then the whole backbone gets fully congested. And this is a classical example on the cases where people actually realize the use of the mobile broadband. Networks are not designed to carry all the traffic, or maybe they're designed in the mobile side or core side, but not in the backbone of the network, firewalls, routers, and things like that. And I have 5-6 customer cases where even they were told to redesign, they didn't believe that the growth of the mobile broadband will be so high and so quick that they actually hit the wall very badly. And then when you have it congested already, then it is painful to upgrade it very quickly to right level. Again, with the proactive monitoring, you can actually detect this very quickly and proactively see when the system utilization will be growing to out of your design boundaries. Also, in European big customers, we have also this push-to-talk example here. So again, what is also one of the critical findings that we have been able to detect as well is, it is probably part of the IP culture, but you need to be also clear that when you do the investments also in the normal equipment, you better use the right branded equipment and not go with some of the SIVA version of the products.